Felicia is just a really cute mid-length curly style, very voluminous. So let's go through the specs real quick for Felicia. So we have about a 5-inch bang area here, which is a little unusual for a voluminous curly style and will appeal to a lot of you because it just really ups that practical value of this style. Felicia's about 13 inches all the way around, so it's cut to where it's about the same length all the way around, but you will find some layering, and just to probably accentuate some of this curly nature of the style. It weighs just over 4 ounces, and it's a 100% capless design. So we have not seen a capless design by Henry Margu as a part of this series, so I'm excited to show it to you. Capless and open cap basically mean the same thing. So it's open wefted throughout the cap. It's kind of absent of some of that mesh material that you would find with a standard cap. It's just more open, it's more breathable, it's more stretchy and comfortable. Let's go ahead and take a look at this color, this 88H. 88H is a deep strawberry blonde. Now when I say strawberry blonde, sometimes to me when I say strawberry blonde I think red gold. It just automatically snaps into my head, and I think it's because when my sister was a wee little girl and she had all this red hair, they called it strawberry blonde. It was red, but it was red gold. It was just a bright red gold color. Not this one. This is just more of a deep strawberry blonde. I would make it more akin to a strawberry honey than a strawberry gold, if that makes sense to you. And then we have some very pale, light wheat blonde highlighting run through it. It's the highlight pattern is beautiful. As you know, Henry Margu really does structure their highlight pattern around the texture of the style, just to bring out the natural beauty of the style. So you're going to see this very bold highlight pattern throughout this style to really bring out this texture and curl. And what I love about it is that the pale wheat blonde highlights blossom into the tips. The tips are all that pale wheat blonde color. So let's dig into this style. So Felicia, we talked about it being, the hallmark is just all this voluminous curl, and it's just gorgeous. It feels very light and airy to the touch, and I think even though it weighs just over 4 ounces, there is quite a bit of hair here. It's of about a medium density. It's not too dense. I think the open cap and the way they process and finish their fibers in a way that makes them very silky and feathery feeling, it just makes it feel very light on the head. As a part of that finishing process, each fiber is just really separate from each other. It gives it a light, airy, movable feel and appearance. It's got some very beautiful, beautiful movement. So going into the style, you have the bang area here, but what's remarkable is that the crown is smooth. So you're going to see a smooth crown all the way down to about 1/3 of the way down the style. That also encompasses the bangs. So the bangs aren't perfectly straight. They are mildly contoured just to zip above that eyebrow there, which makes it very practical. And then it blossoms into these big barrely curls. Now there's multiple layering in here as well, so that really brings out the nature of these curls. You can get a lot of big volume. This is a style that if you love curls like I do, let's compare it to the Henry Margu's Paulina. Paulina has a triple curl pattern, which just means there's 3 types of curls. There's big barrely curls, there's tighter, more fully formed ringlets, baby doll curls. There are some that are a little bit more deconstructed. So that was just a tighter curl pattern than this one. This is very loose, feminine and soft looking. So I'll go ahead and do a full spin and turn so that you can see all sides. I'll walk away so you can see the length and of the style and how the scale of the curls and everything work. Let's go ahead and talk about PERMATEASE. So everything you didn't know that you didn't know about PERMATEASE. So I've had a lot of great discussion with Henry Margu about PERMATEASE. I really wanted to dig into the nuts and bolts of the stuff and figure out what it was and why it's important. I've always known that I've loved PERMATEASE, right? And I think that if PERMATEASE is done right, it accentuates a style, it props it up, it makes it last longer, it gives you lift, it holds the style together a lot better than if there were no PERMATEASE. So there are two types of PERMATEASE really. So the first type we're going to talk about is called pre-tease. Pre-tease is typically used in a longer style wig where you don't want a lot of heavy PERMATEASE. The pre-tease is where the bottom portion of each of the fibers is crimped. They have a crimping machine and it crimps the fibers and it just gives them a little bit of body and lift at the root. That's typically used in your longer style wigs. Now the kind of PERMATEASE that, when I say PERMATEASE, that immediately comes to your mind is called bottom tease. It's those wee little micro short hairs, kinky hairs that are at the base of the cap, of the base of the fibers. These little fibers are actually sewn into the wefts when they're made, and then as a part of the finishing process they kind of comb them up, and that gives it that teased effect, as if you, with your own bio hair, if you just tease the bottom or the root of your hair, that's what this is. That's why they call it the bottom tease. You'll find bottom tease mostly around the top and at the crown of a style, or anywhere to just accentuate the shape of the style. Let's talk about how PERMATEASE is used here on Felicia. Felicia is an open cap or capless style, and typically you will find PERMATEASE in these styles. Number one, because it is an open wefted cap, machine wefted cap, you want to make sure that all the wefting is covered. So you're going to see some bottom tease being used on Felicia. Now, the general shape of this style is that you have kind of a smooth crown that blossoms into these barrely curls at the bottom. So they strategically place the PERMATEASE to accentuate the style. So you'll find a thin layer of bottom tease throughout the top and at the crown. It's not thick because it's not meant to give a lot of volume at the top, because the look of this style is a more smooth appearance at the top. And then what you'll find then at the base of these fibers, you'll find some bottom tease right above the ear and basically all around the bottom of this cap. And that's just to keep these curls propped. It's to keep the style in place. And it delivers a very beautiful movement without exposing any of the cap features underneath. So there's a really big purpose for PERMATEASE. PERMATEASE is strategically used on the most high-end medical wigs. Now when you get into your monofilament top, your lace, your completely hand-tied caps, then less or even sometimes no PERMATEASE is used on that. Because there's no actual wefting and the style is built around something completely different. I personally love PERMATEASE. I think that's an absolute essential piece of the puzzle when we're talking about a natural looking wig. Now, so many of you out there may decide that you don't like PERMATEASE, especially the beginner wig wearers. They might not be used to a lot of volume or hair, so that PERMATEASE can be shocking at first. but you gradually get to absolutely love it because you understand the purpose and the function of it. As I've noted, the Felicia is a 100% capless design or open cap, both mean the same thing. So you'll see this beautiful velvet front piece here. It's very comfortable, and it does go back onto the forehead. So if you have no hair there or very little, it's very, very soft and comfortable. There's a bit of a brush of small PERMATEASE hairs at the hairline. This obscures the wefting and the wig line right there. So it has a very natural look at the front. You have an open adjustable ear tab, again open wefted, lots of hairs spliced in there for additional coverage. And in the back you do have a standard velvet nape. All of these seams are beautifully lined, very comfortable Velcro adjusters. And then you've got your open tracks here at the top. Lots and lots of wefting. This wig has a lot of stretch. I would say that it is true to average, but it will accommodate an average large circumference. So how will Felicia behave when you're looking at styling it? I think this is important to know. So again, that capless design is going to give you lots of options. There's really no designated parting space. You can part this wherever you want. I typically wear mine just left of center, which I have it parted that way now. And there's a smoothness about the crown and the bangs. So you can move that around as you wish. So if you are a right hand parter, this looks just gorgeous that way as well. Just sweep those bangs from right to left, create a little bit of part here by separating the fibers. There's enough PERMATEASE to obscure wefting so you don't have to worry about it being exposed. So that's more of a right hand part, and it does a beautiful job of tucking. So even though the density is on the medium side, around the face it's really not too bad, and there's very limited PERMATEASE right there at the edge of the cap. So you can really get a nice tuck that helps devolumize, and it just gives it a really cute look. You could certainly do that on both sides. Go ahead and make a tuck. Just pull down enough in front of the ear to obscure the wig line and any bio hair that you may have there. Now I'm a big fan of curl. I like to let it go once in a while, but sometimes I'm in the mood for a little less volume. I like the curl, I just don't like the volume. So that's very easy. That's very easy to manage. Just take a claw clip. I think most have seen me do this, but just take the sides, kind of scoop them back and clip them just below the crown. Just gives a really cute profile. And it devolumizes those sides nicely just for a different look. So if you want the bangs kind of up and away, you could use a bit of a blingy clip. You've seen me do that before. I like to do the same techniques on the wigs just so you can get a sense of how they move and react. Isn't that cute? A little bit of a flower there. So this has been a review of Henry Margu's Felicia in the color 88H. Be sure to join me next time for yet another Henry Margu wig review.